Having a Gas is the podcast that talks the great and the good of the creative industries. Today, I'm having a gas with Jason Brownlee, the founder of a marketing consultancy called Colourtext. You published something on LinkedIn that was to do with Spotify trends this year and last year. And I'm going to share the screen so that we can all refer to what we're looking at. So we've got this. You can see that, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So first of all, just, obviously we've got some copy there, but just tell us what we're looking at and why it matters.
Okay, so what you're looking at was basically me trying to scratch a couple of different itches about what was going on during lockdown. And I've worked with the fabulous people at Radio Monitor, which is it's a very long and well-established UK company. And they're very well known in the radio industry, which is obviously how I got to first meet these guys. And what they do is basically collect a data set of every record that gets played by every radio station pretty much all around the world. Mm-hmm. And they collate those numbers and they provide them back to the record companies and to the radio stations so they can figure out their marketing strategies and they can figure out their competitor, what the competitors are doing and what their own strategy ought to be. But within all of this data, they've also got access to Spotify streams, which is really interesting because the difference between the Spotify data and the radio station data is that the radio station data represents what the program directors are thinking and doing. They're putting out records that get played, but the Spotify data is what the punters are doing. This is what people are actually choosing to listen to rather than what they are given to listen to. And the first thing I wanted to do, after hearing a few things on the grapevine from some of the record companies particularly, was that lockdown was having an effect on music streaming that we didn't really predict. And you can see from this chart, if you look at the top chart where it says number 10, that's round about the beginning of March. Yeah, 1st of March. So the 10th week thereabout of the year. And the orange line is 2020 and the purple line, the darker line, is 2019. And at that point in time, lockdown really begins to bite from the COVID crisis. And this is where the two lines begin to diverge. And as everyone had to stay at home during the lockdown 1 period, music listening on Spotify, particularly in this case, specifically to the top 200 songs played, fell. It's fallen by quite a lot. And over the year, I've calculated so far that streaming's down at least 6% on Spotify relative to last year. And the explanation, I think, is that something that we know in radio quite well is that music particularly relies on listening occasions or opportunities to listen. And one of the main opportunities to listen when you're engaged in a primary task, but it's not the kind of task that you can do anything particularly serious is commuting. And many people choose to listen to music while they're commuting, particularly if they're young, when they're going to college or, their first jobs and stuff like that. And that simply wasn't happening. And because that primary task was missing, the little kind of niche in the ecosphere or one of the little niches in the ecosphere, the media ecosphere for music streaming, had suddenly just gone. The meteor had hit it, and it wasn't happening anymore. So instead, we're seeing people listening more at home. But when you're at home, you've got a whole bunch of other things that you can get engaged with, principally screens very often as well. So I think there's been a big disruption to lifestyle patterns during lockdown, and that's really affected the way people listen to music because of their availability to listen to music and not have anything else to do instead.